Well, first of all, I represent Mt Vernon, which I'm so proud to represent them. This is an event today that's similar to events that go on all the time in Mt Vernon and Yonkers and Southern Westchester. We're honoring women in law enforcement, and we know that women do an excellent job in law enforcement. The same stereotype that we had of when we were growing up of only men in law enforcement is absolutely not true. And today, our law enforcement, our first responders, women play a vital role. This is honoring some women of color who play wonderful things every single day, saving our lives. And I think it's important to show the community the diversity of our first responders, the people who protect us. It's a great honor to be honoring these women, and I'm proud to play a small part. Thank you.
Right now, I'm going to bring up Clerk Brown from the city of Mt Vernon. He's going to do the opening prayer, and then we're going to start to move the program and get through this quickly. All right? Clerk Brown.
Greetings all. Our Father and our God, before we ask you for anything, we want to thank you for everything. Thank you for our lying down last night. Thank you for our early rising this morning, clothed with the right mind and the activity of our limbs. We do not take it for granted, so we are grateful. Then thank you for those who are assembled here in this place for this very special reason. Thank you for the visionary, Andre Wallace, and thank you for acknowledging the very special honored guests, the women. Thank you for the responsibilities that they have shared since the beginning of time. We could not have made it if it had not been for a woman. We are so grateful because we all come from a woman and we love a woman. So during this special day, this special month, please encourage them and let them know that we love them and we appreciate them. This is our prayer in the wonderful name of our Lord, our Savior, our Conqueror, and our Redeemer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Clerk Brown. And next we're going to bring up our county chair, who's here along with us. Let's get our hands together for Reginald Lafayette.
Thank you, thank you. Please remain standing.
Here we go.
Now, and you should give George Brown, the city clerk, another round of applause. We see George. Not only that we know that George can do anything, now we know he really loves women.
My mother was one.
Always a special thing to be able to show appreciation. And we have a lot of great women here who have made their mark in what used to be a man's field as police officers, detectives. And so we know that they earn the right to be here. We compliment Councilman Wallace for having the foresight, the visionary, to honor this, give some award to those who are well-deserving. It may be the first time that any of you have received an award, but it won't be the last time, because now that you have been recognized, I'm sure it will come to the attention of a lot of other folks around Westchester and around New York. So I have to acknowledge a few folks that are here to pay homage to you. And first, and I'd like to call up to say a few words. You're sitting in the 16th Congressional District. Represent the 16th Congressional District is the Honorable Elliot Engle, Congressman. So we'd like to call up Congressman Engle.
Well, thanks very much, Reggie, and hello everybody. It's great to be here. I love Mt Vernon. My district office is in Mt Vernon, and I want to compliment this beautiful house, this beautiful place. It's the first time I've been here, and it's really, really nice. So I want to compliment Andre Wallace about it. And I like what Andre Wallace had to say, but I want to just clarify something. You know, you talked about catering to women. Anybody who's married here knows all about catering to women. And you also know you better keep catering. So that's what I learned at an early age. And I've been married 37 years, so anyway. Today we talk about law enforcement, and as was mentioned, law enforcement years ago was something that you didn't think of women in being in law enforcement. And now, some of our best people in law enforcement and our first responders and people that just do jobs that we take for granted have been women. Women have risen up the ranks in all the first responders, in all the things that are so important. And I think it's very important that we acknowledge it. And so last month was Black History Month, and this is the month of the women. And I think it's, again, very important that we here in New York understand and promote these kinds of things. So I want to congratulate the honorees. I have certificates from the my congressional office, and want to say that at least I'm here. I know I'm going to be protected because we have some great women. Nobody better cross them. Thank you.
We'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Derek Lawrence, who's running for the Congress in the 16th Congressional District also. So Derek. We'd like to acknowledge Special Assistant to Senator Bailey, who's unable to be here, and that is Dominique. I knew her as Dominique King. I knew her mother, so Dominique Madeline, right? Even though I'm a great deal younger than your mama. But, and let's see, who else do we have here? We have Crystal Collins, who's Special Assistant to the County Exec, George Latimer. And believe me, there's a whole lot of other folks here, and I will, as our union members, officers, whatever.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad that Reggie recognized that I'm black. We couldn't pull this event off without the various fraternal organizations within Westchester County, and we want to give them a thanks. The Yonkers Guardians Association, President Charles Walker, Westchester Rockland Guardians Association, President Paul Hood, Westchester Corrections Association, President Brooke Jones is here, she's here too. Also, the New York City Police Department officer was nominated by New York State Senator Jamal Bailey, and the New Rochelle officer was nominated by City of New Rochelle Councilman Jared Rice. And we also have here our union representative, Cobra's here, Westchester County Correctional Officer Benevolent Association, First Vice President Neil Pallone, Second Vice President Anton Andrews. And we also like to recognize the newly appointed First Deputy Commissioner of Westchester County Department of Corrections, Louis Molina is here, he's in the back. Good friend, long time. So we just like, we couldn't have done this without people recognizing what women do in law enforcement. I know personally what women do in law enforcement because my wife is one of the nominees. She's a great detective in this city, and she does a good service for the city and the people of Mount Vernon. So I'd like to pass it on back to Reggie Lafayette, and thank you for coming out.
And, you know, just recently in Westchester, and most appropriate that on this Women's Day, we made history in Westchester. All you women, you know, you made history. New York State Unified Court System has throughout all the districts, have an administrative judge. For the first time in the history of New York State, there is a woman, a black woman, who became the first woman outside of New York City. I mean, that goes from here all the way up to the Canadian border to Long Island. has been named administrative judge, which means she's the supervisor over the entire court system in the 9th Judicial District. Some 100, all the commissioner of jurors, all the other agencies or whatever, falls under the Honorable Kathy Davison. The Honorable Kathy Davison, who's a family court judge, who's also running the Supreme Court, is here to pay honor to all you ladies.
Thank you. Good afternoon. First, a special good afternoon, and thank you to Commissioner Lafayette, who has been a great friend to me, a great strategist, and I wouldn't be standing here as the first woman if I didn't have his support behind me. I'm going to publicly thank him for that. It's a great day to be a woman, it's a great day to honor women, and it's a great day to have a woman in your life. And I want to say to you, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the 9th Judicial District, which is the 5 counties of Westchester, Putnam, Rockland, Orange County, and Dutchess County. And it's a great pleasure to represent not only women, but women of color, to show the things that we can do when we're given opportunities, when we're given education, and when we have the support. And briefly, I'll say to you, I started my career with the Honorable Brenda Dowry from here in Mt Vernon, who said to me as a young attorney, why don't we go together to American Bar Association? They're having a conference, and that conference was women of color in the judiciary. And we had Asian Pacific women, we had Latino women, we had African American women, and the seed was planted. So in honor of Women's Day, in honor of the Judge Brenda Dowry, I ask everyone here to be a mentor to another woman, whether it's a young woman, a little woman, your sister, your daughter, whoever it is, so we can continue to break down barriers. Thank you. Thank you to Councilman Wallace for giving this and acknowledging women, and I thank you everyone today. On to Victor.
Thank you, Judge. Now that is real history. No matter what happens, that will not be broken. Okay? And so we look forward to the judge becoming the head judge of the Court of Appeal of the state of New York. Don't tell Judge Janet DiFiore that I said that. Keep a secret? Okay, don't say it.
It's no secret, it's live on Facebook.
That figures. He loves Facebook. Damon and I are going back on Facebook to do a rebuttal. but at this time, the Senator Jamal Bailey was supposed to introduce the Speaker, Arlene Gordon Oliver. I'm going to stand in for Jamal. He's stuck in Albany doing bills on our taxes. He promised me that he's not going to raise taxes. I got quiet. Yeah, right. But it is my pleasure to introduce, again, following in the tradition of women, and Judge Davison, Judge Kathy Davison, who ran for family court, one of the most important court in any district is family court. And I know some of you guys are disagreeing, but it is a very important entity. Kathy Davison was also the supervising judge of family court, becoming the chief administrative judge of family court. She needed more, and you need more people who look like Kathy, who look like us, who look like a lot of you in this room in family court. The Honorable Arlene Gordon Oliver, who was a town justice in Greenberg, another busy court. We asked her to run for family court in 2017, and Arlene was no stranger to running. She'd gotten elected to town judge through primaries, through general election, and she did a fantastic job and was elected to the family court judge seat in Westchester County. So Arlene was sworn in 2017, And now it is my pleasure to present to you the Honorable Arlene Gordon Oliver. Family
Andre, when my smile's bright, I feel wait, just shine. I want all the women to listen to the words of this song, because this has been my International Women's Day mantra since I was very little. Oh yes, I'm wise, but I'm a woman born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I'm invincible, I am woman. I am woman, hear me roar in voices too loud to ignore as I spread my loving arms across the land. So. Oh, you want me to? Okay. I was going to finish saying it. Little girl, that song inspired me. It's a really old song. I don't even remember who sang it. Peggy somebody. But it was the first song they made for International Women's Day. I don't know if anybody goes back that far, but that was the first anthem for women. And I just think the words of that song, I'm strong, I'm invincible, I'm woman, is so apropos today. First, let me thank Councilman Andre Wallace for allowing me to give this address. I also want to thank Damon Jones for his leadership for the Black Law. This is an honor for me to bring this keynote speech to you today, honoring women of color in law enforcement. Today we celebrate these amazing women who have dedicated their lives in service to our communities. In fact, I'll tell you, there is no greater calling than to ask someone to possibly lay down their life for their brother man. And these women have stepped up to the plate. We know that as a police officer, you go out every day, you never know if you're going to come back to your family. And for women to risk it when they have babies at home, to me, that's the ultimate sacrifice that you could offer to us. And I thank you ladies so much for your sacrifice.
Nominee is Bridget Brown from the Westchester Press. And we're going to have Paul Hood, President of the Westchester Rockland Guardians Association, say a few words.
Thank you, Damon. It's an honor and it's a privilege to stand up here and make a presentation to one of our members that we feel unanimously is deserving of these accolades. And standing with me is my second vice president, Delphine Meadows, who is a retired supervisor from the Department of Probation. She's also the president of the Westchester County Black Social Workers Organization. Before we get started talking about Bridget, I just have to say that I too, like Damon, was married to a female that was in law enforcement. So Damon and I, we know. My wife Cynthia was the first African-American female detective in the history of the City of White Plains Police Department. And to this day, even though she's been retired, she's still the first and only African-American female supervisor ever in the history of the City of White Plains Police Department. I'm in trouble because she doesn't like me to talk about this, but I think it's something that always has to be brought to the forefront because she's accomplished what can't be taken away.
I'm going to say this as quickly as I can. Greetings, Councilman Wallace. I'm so honored that you are recognizing me and the other women. Honorable Gordon Oliver, my family, friends, and everyone in attendance, I thank you. I am humbled and grateful. It means more than I can put into words how honored I am to be amongst these strong, talented women of color that are making a difference and being of service in their communities. I strive to do just that in my work life and in my personal life. I've been blessed to have a tribe, Wakanda Forever, that have supported my life mission to be of service to children and those most in need. I am who I am because of them. My soulmate, my husband Jeff, my warrior mom, my beautiful, brilliant daughters, my loving siblings and my family, my Westchester Rockland Guardian family, I love you. My probation family, thank you so much. I'm gonna say one more quick thing. If you have a phone or a pencil or a pen, the Brown Family 4 at optonline.com. We service homeless children and those in need. Clothing drives, book drives, toy drives, not because of a toy, but we want to bring joy. So if you write that email down, we will contact you. This is our 10th year. No words can explain what we're doing in this community. We're doing the groundwork. So write that down, contact me. I love you, I'm humbled, and thank you and congratulations to all the women. Thank you so much.
Is there any representative from the Yonkers Guardians Association that is here? Oh, great. No, you can.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roxanne Mariano. I'm a police officer for the city of Yonkers, and I'm going to introduce my coworker, Shayna Jacobs. Shayna and I were hired together in January of 2011 for the city of Yonkers, and since then she's become a good friend, but she's also become someone for me and the rest of our coworkers to go to for comfort. She's a woman of strength, of love, and she's very good within the community. I'm very honored and privileged to work alongside of her. She's a great role model to any young girl or any woman that needs someone to look up to. I'm very proud and honored to be here today, that she finally, so I could share with her the acknowledgement that she's deserved. So I'd like to welcome her up. Thank you all for being here.
First, I'd like to thank those who took the time to put together this event. When I first heard of it, I was given a letter and I was told, guess who's being nominated? And off the bat, I started naming other people, not once thinking it was going to be me. I was beyond surprised to find out that I was even being considered. And at the same time, I questioned why. And then I was told that sometimes we do things and although no one says anything, it doesn't go unnoticed and you never know who you may have inspired. I'm beyond grateful for the recognition and I thank the Yonkers Guardians for doing so. I also thank my mom, who's a retired corrections officer. I also thank all of my coworkers who came out, who are more like family, for always supporting me.
Thank you. And Mom, come on up. Come on up, Mom. Come on up. Come on up. You gotta talk. Come on up. Mom, fight.
Oh yeah, come on, Mom. Come on, Mom. No, come on. Get the picture.
But this is a well-deserved award for your daughter.
The next awardee, and I'm just not being biased because she's my wife, but Montika Jones is a great officer. Great officer. And Paul, we know how it is, you know. And being a husband, you know, being a husband of a police officer, of a female police officer, you know, you got to understand.
I know.
You know, they come through the door, you got to, whoa, because they're giving orders, you know, they're giving orders, right? And you got to, hey, wait a minute, you know, Detective Jones, step outside. The wife got to come inside, you know what I'm saying? But jokes aside, she has done a lot of things, you know, for this community that we talk about, and I think is well deserved. Not only in the police department, but outside in the community, with her business, Cupcake Cutie, and giving back to the children in the community, and doing different things for the community. So, you know, it is a blessing, and it is an honor to watch her do what she do, 24 hours a day. You know, it's not, no sleep. You know, sometimes nothing comes out the oven, but you know, we understand that as husbands. We support. Yes, sir, we support, husband support. But I'm gonna let Andre Wallace, because I know Andre has a lot to say too.
Yes, since this is my nominee for City of Mt Vernon as well. Like Damon said, she does so much for the community. I could vouch for that. I was still cleaning the candy off the wall last night from the Christmas party and the stuff that you had here. But still in all, she's a great detective. And when it comes to commitment, I always look at those things and those people who really care about the community and about the job that they're doing. And she is one in the city that's second to none. Whenever it's time to do, you know, the right thing, you could always count on her to make sure that the right thing and the right information, all of that has been done. So that's why I said it is special to make sure that she's nominated for this particular thing. And, you know, y'all could recognize that she's a woman. So, and Damon always, you know, talks so highly about you, Montika. Very highly, all the time. And he didn't put me up to this, you know. So he does call you, check on you, tell us all day long about you. We actually think that you like, you know, part of a big family now, because every time I turn around, he talking about you. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because you want a man talking about you. So that's a good thing. So that means you must be doing something right at home, even if nothing's coming out the oven. I know that I could go to Cupcake Cutie and I could find some stuff over there. So, and thank you for also making sure that all the nominees have the cake, because the cakes here was brought by Montika Jones for all the honorees, and I want to thank you for that. Come on up, well deserved.
Damon doesn't miss any meals. let's get that straight. So, actually, I've been up for like 2 days. I'm the overnight detective in Mt Vernon. I work 11 at night to 9 in the morning. So you already know how that go in Mt Vernon. It's not easy here. And so I'm up all night. And when I get off in the morning, I go to my business, Cupcake Cutie, and my daughter works nights. She's a nurse at Lawrence Hospital. I'm a little nervous, bear with me. And we do our thing. My whole house, we all work overnight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Detective Jones.
I'm smaller than you anyway.
Wow. I got Prince heels at home too, though.
Look on up. I like to say, I think I've known her for years because Montika will always tell me stories about what they were doing in the academy, and it was and when I asked Jared Rice who would he nominate, and I read it, I said, wait a minute, I think that's Montika. So I called her, and she said, yeah. So it's a great thing to see two officers from different cities that came through the academy and has accomplished so much within their department, you know. And we had to like cut out. You did so much. We had to cut out just a little bit to make it in the program. But it's very impressive. Everybody, please read the accomplishment of this beautiful lady here, because she has done her job, and that's what this program is about: recognizing officers that do their job, and especially women of color, because they are not put out in the limelight. We don't see them on what's that show? The police shows, yeah, cops. We don't see all that, right? You know. So we want to recognize them, and we want people to know in Westchester County that women of color and officers of color are doing their job, not just haphazardly, but black and brown excellence, and that's what it's all about. So without delay, we want to bring up Detective Yadaline Machado. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. Councilman Wallace, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to Councilman Jared Rice. He's not here, but I am beyond humble and honored for his nomination. And Montika, she got me going. She got to me. We were the best of friends, and we continue to be the best of friends, even though we have very busy lives. With me today are my two children. Steven, he's a senior at John Jay College. And my beautiful daughter, Caroline Machado, she's a freshman in the high school. And with me also is the love of my life, Michael Regina. He's a detective. I want to tell my family, thank you so much, especially my two children, because I was a single mom. And
that's okay. It's all right.
If it wasn't for them, the desire to want to excel in life, they were my motivation. That's why I always wanted to be a cop. It was very difficult being a midnight cop for 9 years, being a single mom. I had all the struggles that you could possibly imagine. But every single night that I went out on that street, I gave it my all. I always went out with a desire to help others. And I'm so humbled again for this nomination. And again, I want to congratulate all the ladies that were nominated today. And Montika, I love you. I'm so excited that we get to share this nomination together. So again, congratulations everyone, and thank you so much. Thank you. That wasn't me.
So Officer Reveron was nominated by Senator Jamal Bailey. And another thing, when he sent the bio, you know, you're looking at black and brown excellence and her desire to move up in education, in higher education. She is right now going for a doctor's degree, correct? You know, and that is something, you know, we should be proud about. Not only serving her community, but going up in higher education and being an asset to law enforcement and the community. So without further ado, Police Officer Crystal Reveron.
Thank you, everyone. I'm honored to be here today. Senator Jamal Bailey honored me and nominated me for this award, and I'm appreciative of it. I'm a little nervous. But I started my career as a police officer 13 years ago. I grew up in a community that I felt like we didn't have a positive relationship with our police department, and I wanted to change that. I went to High School of Leadership and Public Service, and their motto behind it was setting an example worth following. So that's what I based my platform of my life on.
I don't live in Mt Vernon, nor do I live in Yonkers, but I feel the way that the love that have been shown to my daughter. I have to let you guys know. There's an old Baptist hymn and it says, let the life I live speak for me. My daughter lived that life. And the love that me and my family have seen from the Westchester Correction Facility, from the state troopers, from the State Department, is overwhelming. I had to come today to let you know this is her, my oldest. And when I hear you ladies talking about being a single mother, so was I. I had 6 kids, 5 boys and 1 girl. My husband passed away at the age of 41. I taught my kids to have respect regardless of whom you are. You give them respect. You don't have to engage if you don't want to engage, but you give respect and you carry yourself respectfully and you respect yourself first, but you give kindness. You speak to people. I don't care whom they are. This is what I taught them. And I thank God today that they live. If you show kindness and love to anybody, you don't have to do what they done or what they engaged in, but you speak to them, show them love and kindness. And when I look at all my kids, I have a school teacher, I have an engineer here, work at University of Pennsylvania. I have graphic artists here. I have another one here that worked for the state of New York. I have another one here that is a supervisor for Maxima Insurance Company. You single mothers, whatever you tell your child not to do, don't let your child see you engaged in it. If you do it, you go out and do it, but you don't tell them not to do something, and then you go to turn around and do it yourself.
That's right.
I ain't gonna say I didn't do nothing, but can't none of them tell you they saw me. Okay? When I instilled in them, I let it stay there, and I never changed my mind. When I told them not to do something, and they messed around and did it anyway, I didn't pick my feet up. And it hurted me sometimes because I had to have that hard love. And my daughter, I thank God, she was the only daughter. She was my best friend. She was my mentor. And I thank God the way she touched each and every one of y'all lives. And believe me, if you need us, just call us. And I know that if I need y'all,
that's right. That's right.
Love each other. That's all it takes.
That's it.
Just love each other.
behalf of also Congressman Engle. I'm a little choked up myself. Senator Bailey in the city of Mt Vernon. We present this to you for your daughter and all the things that she did and all the lives she touched. And we thank you.
Thank you. Yes.